I'm going to record right now. This is recording, and I'll post this to the Google Classroom in a second. But the first thing we always want to do is make sure our Google Drive is running and we're synced up to it. So I don't see a Google Drive button down here, so I know my Google Drive's not running. So I'm just going to go to the Start menu and type the word Google Drive. Click on it. It's now down there. Mine's actually already logging in for me, which is nice. You may have to click on it and log in. Okay, so now we can save anything we want to this Google Drive right here. So that's useful to have. Should probably make a folder for this class. Call it something like programming or ICS3U, something where you can save all your stuff. Okay, so that's what we looked at on Monday, I guess. We also launched the C++ yesterday, which was under this dev folder. Yours will be in the work area. Mine's under Brazinga. Okay, and inside of there you should have a folder called Codeblocks. Don't worry about the other ones for now. One's graphics, one's physics engine, one's GUI, one's a file system code. You run your code with CB Launcher. That opens our IDE, Integrated Development Environment. It's just where you code. A program to code in. It's called Codeblocks. It's free. I think the one thing that people don't like about it is that you can't switch the color very easily, like the whole color to black and blue like you could with VS Code. But I don't care about that. I like that it's free, and I like that it's small, and I like that you can put it on your computer at home without installing it. Next thing we did was we made a new project. And for us, for the first 10 labs at least, they're all console application. This is the graphics one later, SFML. We'll talk about what that stands for. Then in grade 12, we use the graphics and the physics to make some really cool stuff. But for now, it's just the simple little console window. Just getting used to how everything works, learning the basics first. So you'll want to save that into Google Drive, wherever you save your stuff. Just gonna put mine in the downloads today, I guess. Okay. I'm going to call this one Lab 3 today. It'll ask you what compiler you want to use. The compiler is the program that makes sure you're actually coding in C++, and its job is to take your like English words and letters and syntax and convert it to a language the computer can understand. Okay, so that's what your program will look like when you first start it. Oftentimes, for now, for some reason, I'm missing all my side screen where my files are. So that is Shift F2. And I can see my little file here along the side. Every time we make a program, it makes one file for us with our code in it. It's called main.cpp for .c++. Okay, there we go. Perfect. I'm also going to hit F2 so I get my little log window here. That'll tell me if I have errors. Like let's say I spell C out wrong and I run it. I'll get a little error and it'll tell me, look down here. COU was not declared. It doesn't know what that command is. That's what it's telling me. And it also gives me a little stop sign. So hopefully I could figure out what was wrong there. It takes a while to get used to figuring out what's wrong. C++ does not give great error messages. They're not always very clear. Okay? Let's look at what this code does now. As a brief review, this line of code here, include IOStream, finds the file that has all the commands like cout that let us put words on the screen. Okay? And it also lets us, we're going to learn what this command does today too. ENDL, that stands for end line. If I don't put it, you'll see, watch, I'll get rid of this code here. And then I'll put another line of code underneath it, like another little cout command here. Hello world, how are you? And I won't put an ENDL after that one either. And you'll see what will happen with my code here. It writes them on the same line. Okay. So that's where those commands come from. This I wouldn't worry about for now. This just saves us a little bit of typing. It stops us from ever having to put the word std : in front of every command we use. It's like an advanced feature that like people that are coding big projects with companies use, but we just like get rid of. That's just one extra layer of confusion we don't need right now. Then we have this thing called int main. It's called the main function of our code. It's basically there to tell Windows we're ready to code and to look inside these curly brackets and do whatever we tell it to do. And then this line here tells it to quit and tells it we don't need to use Windows resources anymore. Don't actually need that line, but it is there. I like to keep it in there. And you don't need to set it to 0 either. You can give yourself a little message. Whoa. You could say like return 17 or something. It doesn't do anything. It puts in your little output window that it returns 17. Okay, so that's it. That's how you run your code. You run it with the green button. I always press F9. I never press the button. It's a little shortcut there. Okay, so I'm going to stop my recording, and I'll post that online if you need to see it again. If you forgot how to do stuff. I have a little YouTube channel.